All right, we are back. We are La Sportiva Radio here in Cortina, Italy at the Loot. Okay. And I just want to remind everybody, we want to remind everybody that you can follow along with us both on the La Sportiva Gram right now. We're on Instagram Live streaming. And then, of course, you have us and our playlist going on the La Sportiva YouTube channel where you can follow us all weekend. And we hope that you do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, check us out, La Sportiva Gram. All the action, as well as you can find the program of the events. Also, if you swing by here, if you're in Corso Italia in Cortina, the program for La Sportiva Radio is right outside the door here, and we've got a special guest with us who's going to give us some advice, I hope, for the runners, and last minute advice maybe for the runners preparing for the races, and some nutrition advice for us, Walter. So let's introduce Stefano Detassis. Now you're from Trento.
Stefano Detassis. It's a good Trentino name. I actually was asking around. I live in Trento myself for the last few years, and so when I saw where you were at, and I was kind of looking you up before you were coming in, thought that was interesting.
Yeah, thank you guys for this opportunity, and hi everybody.
Yeah, look, and you've been busy already this morning because you swung by the La Sportiva store and had a really nice presentation for runners that had joined us for the morning community run, and giving them some advice about nutrition. So it's great to have you giving some advice to our listeners out there as well.
Yeah.
Could you tell us maybe a little bit about your background in nutrition as a nutritional coach?
Yeah. And also a runner too. Sorry to interrupt. I
think that's obvious.
Yeah, I'm a dietitian and expert in sport nutrition. So I work in this in this world since 7 years, and now I work in different places here around Trentino. I work with general population, but also with athletes, of course. I'm also a trail runner. I compete in a lot of sports. I come from cross-country skiing. I do also cycling and triathlon, and of course ultra distance races like Lavaredo. I compete here 2 years ago in the 120K and last year in the 80K.
Oh, fantastic.
So I know what it means to be outside, running under the sun and under pain.
I noticed that you were multidisciplined in the sports. You talked about growing up, and then it's also very funny. You're talking about the general population that you work with. That would be me in this situation, and then the athletes that you might be working with, professional athletes here next to me. That's nice. We can get a full 360 view on nutrition here.
But the 120K here at the Lavaredo Ultra Trail, you've had quite a result in that.
2 years ago was my first long race, the 120K, so the results were not so good, but because of some issues with my ankle. But last year in the 80K I got top 20, so I'm very proud of it.
Yeah. Were the issues with your ankle, did they start pre-race? Is it something that you brought with you into that first race, or was it something that happened out on the trail?
No, it happens during the race, Alpha Way in Cimabanche.
And a twisted ankle?
Yeah. And then I wanted to finish the race, but the pain was very, very, very big.
How do you deal with that mentally out on the trail?
It's not easy when you have some problems, but the problem was only that one. I didn't have any problems in energy, for example. So my nutrition, of course, was well planned.
Yeah, everything has to fall into place, doesn't it? So for runners that are preparing for the race, look, it's not just about what happens on the day, is it? There should be a whole strategy, kind of from the start of the training all the way through to the competition. Now, just as a general kind of diet, what do you kind of recommend?
Yeah, of course, you cannot only think about the day of the race, but you have to have a balanced diet first of all, and then you need to adjust the nutrition for your training and for the race. Of course, to have a balanced diet, I recommend to have balanced meals. So have carbohydrates, protein, and vegetables during lunch and dinner, and also in breakfast. And I recommend for athletes at least 2 snacks during the day, just to meet energy intake needs and macronutrients and micronutrients needs. And for sure, for athletes, it's important to eat easy to digest food, easy to digest meals. So right before training or right before the race, you need to prefer carbohydrates, of course.
Could you tell us, like, what are those easy to digest foods that a person's going to find at the supermarket when they're shopping?
Well, we need to know carbohydrates are available in different types of food, like cereal, grains, fruit, potatoes. All these type of foods are good right before the training or the race. The amount of carbohydrates you eat, higher the amount is, a lot of time you need to digest. So if you eat a complete meal, you need to wait 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
If it's a small snack or a breakfast, is okay 1 or 2 hours before. All foods with carbohydrates like bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, cereals, bars are okay.
What about with your experience also as an athlete yourself? Just to give people an idea, what would be the difference? But somebody who doesn't do any sport compared to somebody who is really training for an ultra marathon, an ultra trail marathon, what would be the difference in energy needs between somebody who doesn't need sport but just needs to kind of like function, and another person who's doing so much training they need to really fuel them? Of course, maybe the quality of the diet can be the same in normal people and in athletes, but the quantity of the energy, the amount of energy you need to put inside your reservoir, inside your tank, is in athletes more, because you have resting metabolic rate.
Sure.
That is the main part of the energy expenditure, and then you have the energy expenditure of the physical activity. So this is a wide range percentage of energy expenditure. So for an athlete that stay outside hours in training or in race, you need to eat more, but you don't forget to eat well. So you eat more but well.
Yeah, good, and probably like a lot more. I would, even, could it be even double the quantity, or double the I guess you talk about joules and energy, and would I know it's different for everybody, but I could imagine it could be 50% or more compared to the needs.
Yes, it's not so easy to have a right number, but it can be.
We put you on the spot. So let's move a bit closer to race day. And what about in the last days leading up to the race? And I was very interested to hear Andreas Reiterer talk about that. For him as a top runner, he's not going to change his diet that much coming into race day. So he doesn't want to try anything new leading up to the race day, but he still does a couple of things in the last 2 days.
For sure, for everybody, it's recommended to think every training is like a race. So you always have to balance good your diet. Then yes, the 1 or 2 days before the race is recommended to have a carbo load. So eat more carbohydrates, but don't forget proteins, fats, and vegetables, of course. And the meal before the race is important, of course. If it's the dinner, I recommend a normal balanced plate. If it's the breakfast, I recommend a breakfast that meets your habits. Don't change your habits
the day before.
Just for the day of the race, because you can have maybe some problems. So If your breakfast, if in breakfast you're used to consume bread and so milk, try this also on the race day. Don't change. Maybe you eat a little bit more, but don't change. Don't eat pasta or rice.
So the routine is almost as important as what you're eating.
Yeah, you need to train.
Not to shock your body.
You need to train also nutritional strategy. So this will be your routine, and okay for the race, okay for the training.
Yeah. And what about for the different distances as well? Like your pre-race meal, will it be different depending on how long you're going to be running, or it's more or less the same?
The pre-meal will be the same. I think, it doesn't matter. But what change is how do you manage the during.
We're back talking to Stefano about the pre-race strategy, and I want to get into the actual race, what happens during the race, because that's fascinating. The energy needs of a runner, and also, what I find, with some of the runners I also coach, just what kind of works in terms of being comfortable to eat, because that's a big deal for runners. And so when they're during the race, what is a kind of a strategy you can use to get enough energy needs, but without feeling uncomfortable.
Problems, during the race, of course, you need to first hydrate, because this is a very important thing to understand. At least half a liter per hour, but it depends on the weather and on the temperature, of course. So is half a liter or more. And then for sure you need to eat carbohydrates, our primary source of energy and easy to digest carbohydrates. So maltodextrin you can find in powder to put in water, so solution. And then we have gels or bars, carbohydrate gels or bars.
Do you have an opinion about whether a more solid food is easier on the stomach to digest during a long race, or do you prefer there's all these different types of gels and mixtures out there? Or again, is it personal taste?
Yeah, for sure, gels and maltodextrin in solution are easy to digest. For sure, bars are a little bit
denser.
A little bit.
For sure. They're,
okay. No, they are a little bit difficult to digest. Yes. Then. Because of the distance, you need to adjust the strategy. For shorter distance, you need to prefer gels or liquids, and for longer distance, you can also consider common foods like bananas, biscuits, because of the intensity of the effort.
Sure.
If the effort is low intensity, you can also eat some solid foods. If is high intensity effort, is better to stay liquid.
So the faster you run, the
more you burn, right?
You want to be. Well, one of the things that because I think the sports science and nutrition has really made big advances in the last 5 years. But one of the things that you can kind of measure, because you can see the amount of grams that you're consuming in each package, and of course the weight of these foods is much more concentrated, so you don't need to carry as much weight with you when you're carrying the gels and if you're using bars. But what about there's a lot of talk about how many grams of carbs per hour?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of talk about per hour.
I want to hear your opinion on this.
In the last years, we have a lot of news in this way, and recommendation for sports, for endurance sports, talks about from 30 to 120 grams per hour.
Wow,
but
that's a
pretty
range.
big range. Yeah,
the range is big. If the race is shorter, you need less carbohydrates per hour, because you have a reserve from the pre. Okay, but if the race is longer, you need to stay from 60 to 120 grams per hour. And you need to train this because our stomach is not so used to digest this amount of carbohydrates altogether. So you need to train these strategies to be sure you don't have stomach or gastrointestinal
So you're saying
problem.
not only do you need to smash the quads, keep the muscles in the legs like ready to go, but also you need to work on your stomach, your digestion as part of the entire process, the racing process, training your stomach.
Yeah, that's such good advice to try everything in training as much as you can before you come to the race day, because you put so much of yourself into preparing for one special day. You don't want to leave anything to chance, and I think the nutrition side of things is something that a lot of people forget about, that during training they should be getting as much or as more carbs than they would expect to need in the race.
All right. Well, we have Anton Krupicka's coming up. He's going to stop in, and we don't want to keep Stefano too long.
Yeah, well, he's going to tell us about all the potato chips he likes to eat during races, I'm sure.
But before we let you go, like just on a personal note, do you have a famous last meal before your races, or a favorite merenda or snack while you're racing yourself?
No, I have my own habit, and I keep them during.
Do you have like a specific dish? Like
I think he's keeping them secret.
Exactly. He doesn't want to get.
No, for example, my breakfast before a race, if the race is in the morning, is a porridge plus some proteins and bread with jam and a tea.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just to finish off on that, because Stefano just mentioned protein, but post race as well. That's super important, isn't it, to actually increase the protein intake for muscle repair.
During the day, protein intake is important during the day and after the exercise, not during. Because it's not so easy to digest protein during an effort. But after activity is okay for a good recovery to have carbohydrates and protein as well.
Yeah, I really like that advice. Look, thank you so much, Stefano.
Yeah, thank you, Stefano, for coming
here.
in and talking with us. It's excellent.
Yeah, we're gonna take a photo together as well, and we're gonna hang it on our wall. So we're gonna build up our wall of guests here that you're gonna see behind us, and we're gonna take a nice selfie. So make sure you have a good smile there, Walter.
Right. Thank you so much, Stefano.
Thank you, guys.